Hello, today I'd like to talk about Freedom Bodywork, which is a gentle and easy way of working with the body. Freedom Bodywork will revolutionize the way you experience and feel your own body and the way you think about the body in general. But to really understand Freedom Bodywork, you have to understand the philosophy it's based on, which is the Traeger approach. Dr. Milton Traeger dedicated his whole life to working with the body and really trying to shift the paradigm of massage and body work at his time, which still prevails today. The paradigm he shifted was that we really think of the body as this solid, uh, concrete thing that needs to be chiseled away at, and if you get adhesions and resistance, you just go harder, and no pain, no gain. At the beginning, deep work was really emphasized, and you didn't really think that anything was effective unless you really felt it in an intense or painful way sometimes. But Traeger couldn't see the reason for this. In his own experience as a gymnast and working with his own body and others, he philosophized, why can't it be easier? Why can't it be lighter? And he had a real breakthrough with his work when he was working as a doctor in a hospital in Hawaii. And there was this man that came in for surgery, and he was completely rigid, completely stuck down, and he couldn't even move his head, his neck. He had to move his whole torso. And when they put him under for anesthesia, he was completely limp. He was completely loose. It took multiple people to get him onto the operating table. And the interesting thing is, when he was coming back to consciousness, Dr. Traeger observed him slowly get back into his rigid state and begin to move in that structured way. So Traeger realized that muscle tension and holding patterns is all in the mind. There are scar tissues and things that do need to be broken up, and I'll go into more about how Freedom Bodywork approaches that in the next video. But most of the part, the muscular system is all controlled by the mind, and it's mostly the unconscious mind. These are patterns we are holding that we don't even realize we're holding them. We have no idea how to change and shift them. So Traeger built his approach on targeting the unconscious mind of releasing these holding patterns. Now, I want to emphasize that it's an approach to the body. It's a philosophy that you internalize, and once you understand it, you can take it anywhere, to any condition, to any restrictions that people are experiencing, and you really respond to the body. It's a real spontaneous way of working. Now, I'm not trying to get on other ways of systems, but it's just different. Other systems like neuromuscular, which I was trained in, you have an approach, you have a system where you warm up the tissue that they want to work on, or you think, you just hypothesize what to work on. It's really scientific, and you warm it up layer by layer, and hopefully, if you release the tight muscle on one side, the other muscles will become in balance, and you'll bring balance to the joint. But the body's a lot more complex, so it can take a long time in some cases to really get to the core of the issue. So Traeger's approach was to target the unconscious mind to really bring you a deep feeling of peace and relaxation, which is a whole body response. It's really about letting go. It's a philosophy of let go. And you'll see this reflected in our society today. Because there are two types of holding patterns. The first one is common sense. You have an injury. Your mind's not going to let you move if it's painful. So you develop this pattern where you won't accidentally move in a painful way. And Traeger's work releases that. It shows you how gentle it is, and then your mind eventually lets go, and now it gives you your whole range of motion back once you've healed. But the other holding pattern is what I want to call the anticipation holding pattern. Now this is when, because people will do it consciously too if you've ever received a massage, a therapist is moving you, and you're like, oh, I'll help, when really you should, try to relax and just let go. Let them do all the work. That's what we're here for. But a lot of times people have unconscious holding anticipation patterns where their mind is trying to anticipate what's going on, where they're going to move, and they'll help you out that way. So when I try to, Traeger's work is a lot of just free and gentle wave-like motions, and they're trying. You can feel that they're resisting, and they don't even know it. Maybe they're not trying to resist, but their body's holding back. And this is a reflection of just the anticipation, fear in our culture at large. You know, uh, the fear of the unknown. People want to know what the weather is. They want to know what the traffic is. They want to know how their day is going to go. They want to know what to expect, basically. And when you're approaching the body and you're trying to break up holding patterns, you have to let go of that anticipation. You have to be surprised. And that's really what the approach is about. It's a completely new experience, which is why it's so hard to describe in an advertisement or on my website. But it's spontaneous. It's a new experience. It's, oh wow, I didn't know my body could feel this way. I had no idea. So a lot of people will ask me, what do I expect when I get this work? And I'll say, don't expect anything. Just come and have the experience and let that, free your mind, free your unconscious mind, and have a completely different way of moving and motions. A lot of people feel afterwards like they're floating on a cloud, or they're a lot lighter. A lot of sensations that it's hard to describe. So Traeger's approach to generate this deep feeling of relaxation, it's very beautiful, and it's very effective as well. Because when your mind associates work with pleasure, and it's a good feeling when you get off the table, it's more likely to keep that new pattern, that new freer range of motion. Whereas if you worked on it and it's very intense and it's very painful, and now you're thinking of your body as, oh, if I neglect my posture for too long, I'm gonna have to get worked out again, and that's gonna be no fun. When really Traeger, it's just building on this feeling of lightness and relaxation. So it keeps longer, and you just, one of the principles of the work is called reflection. You reflect on how you feel at the end of the session, and whenever you're feeling tense, or you're sliding back into old patterns, you kind of recall that sensation. What did it feel like to be lighter? And you move your body around, and you really get back into your body, and it loosens up. It's really miraculous. So I'm going to discuss more about the actual mechanics of how Freedom Body works, approaches the body, how it affects on, if people that are interested in more of the physics and the science behind it. We'll get into that in the next video. Thank you for watching.